Yeah. Are we online?
I believe so. Hello,
Cool.
everybody. Welcome back to another Mooncolony live stream. Today, I've got Mooncolony art director Alex Pascenko. I think that's how you say your last name. I always struggle with it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Nice one. Thanks.
And he's here to do some portfolio reviews for us. Now, before we get started, I just thought I'd ask Alex to sort of introduce himself and tell us a bit more about himself and what it is that he does here at Mooncolony. So, if you wouldn't mind taking it away.
Yeah. Hey, hi everybody. Nice to meet you. I'm Alex. I do art direction for Mooncolony. Work on more of some characters, realistic anatomy, but also some stylized stuff. And before that, I've been drawing professionally for 15 years. I've been a freelance illustrator, done concept art, and before I joined Mooncolony, I was 8 years working as a concept artist and art director for the collectibles industry, doing stuff like big collectibles of Marvel heroes, Star Wars, and then Mario and Zelda stuff. Yeah, right. Yes, that's it.
Nice.
I love to draw. And I like anime, yes. I have a few favorite ones.
I was going to say Melissa just outed you as an anime fan, and we've got people already asking what your favorite anime is.
Too many isekais, yes.
Nice. So we can jump straight into the portfolio reviews. So are we doing this one first? Are we doing Mateen's first?
Think so. Is it the one? Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Or is there some kind of some kind of lineup order?
Well, we can do it in whatever order you like.
Okay.
I've got their notes written down about what they said they're looking for in feedback and stuff, so I can read them out to you if you like.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, for sure. Thanks.
Yeah, no, that's no problem. So Mateen said that their goal is to sort of fine-tune their skills in character design and illustration, and so they kind of just want to know generally what should be worked on to improve that. So it's kind of general feedback, really.
Okay. All right. So illustration is it, right? And what was the other?
Character design was the other one.
Okay. All right. So when I look at the thumbnails, I see lots of unfinished stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And if this is a portfolio review, I'd rather suggest you to put in, if it's ArtStation, colored works or finished works in there. And then at the bottom, when I scroll down, you can show some sketches, but you really want to capture my attention, and you can color. So, you know, the first impression is what counts. I be like, when I see this, I see, okay, there's lots of rough stuff. I think you can push that a little bit. Illustration. So for illustration, I don't see any. Like illustration with 2 characters is the most I see here. Maybe if I click onto this one. So what I'm expecting of an illustrator is to tell a story. Maybe have some dynamic lighting or different lighting setups. This is pretty simple, which of course works too. But yeah, maybe for. I mean, that looks rather like a panel of a manga and some nice stylistic choices and such. But yeah, it tells so much of a story, like you know, like in a manga. Like I would look at a panel, maybe this could be something. Okay, that's sweet. I really like the lighting here. Oh, that's sweet and moody. That's some creepy stuff. I like it. Looks like some isolation, and the composition is kind of makes me feel pressured, awkward. There's some tension. I wonder if you did it intentionally, because if you did, that's pretty cool. Yeah, there's some guy being happy, dwelling in some kind of shadows. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, right. There's a creepy, eerie feeling overall. So yeah, you nailed it. That's cool. Yeah,
Nice.
no, what I mean, like if there's a game that's looking for a style like that, you're welcome.
Mhm.
I don't know how I should review this, like if um like where you want to find a job, or what's the company where you want to work with. I mean, the stuff I work with, that is a little bit more rendered
Mhm.
and a little bit more. It's good if you know certain different styles. It's maybe more dynamic. But I've been looking at your portfolio. Also, one thing is I mentioned. So I see one face, two face, three face of three faces of the same and three posts on your portfolio. That looks kind of lazy. It gives me the impression, all right. I mean, I know you can do different faces, and it could be more surprising if you would have like show how much variety you can deliver. Because yeah, let's take a look at these. I mean, you have really cool animation style. I wonder if you've been to, if you studied animation or something.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of some 90s anime, which I like pretty much. I mean, the stuff before. That's cool.
Yeah, I should take the opportunity to say that if you're here, Metin, then feel free to say hi and ask any questions or anything. Because yeah, I'm sure we've got a few for you. If you are not here, then don't say anything.
Yeah. Oh man, that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. Really like this. Love the shoes. That's quite modern. So yeah, if you want to do illustration, take this guy and make an illustration with some more characters jumping out in front of the camera, doing some crazy stuff. I'd like to see if you want to be an illustrator as well, if you can post them properly, figure out which character has the main presence, and then how can you guide the viewer's eye throughout the image, maybe introduce some backgrounds or something. Yeah, I mean, drawing wise is pretty good, really nice. Super confident line work, man. This is amazing. Love it. That reminds me of some artists I really like, some Japanese. Tatsuyuki Tanaka is his name, I think. Yeah, he does some weird, crazy stuff. Which
I was going to say
is
you can really feel the like manga influence, I think, if there is one. But I'd be very surprised if there wasn't.
Yeah, it's cool stuff. I mean, something you could work on is your colors. They look a little bit muddy. I think focus more on like the contrast and the quality of your local values first before you experiment with stage 3 right here, adding too much shadow. I think the line work is there, and then focus a little bit more like giving the right flat colors here that contrast each other. If you practice, you can even pick colors and values from your favorite artists or get inspired by that. See how far they can push the values, and I would skip this step, because if you do the second step right with that kind of shading, it might already work nicely. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the sort of consistency of the pieces in the portfolio in terms of quality? Do you think they're all sort of fairly consistent in quality, or?
Yeah, he has quite a consistent style overall. I mean, he has a style, but I think you can just push a little bit more to be. I mean, that's awesome. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, dude. I mean, like in that style. Do me like a couple of archetypes of the queen and the king and the jester and the hero and the ninja, whatever, like different body types, put them in a line, a couple of facial expressions, and you're good to go, man.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Yeah, bunny kids. But yeah, you have like your some kind of area you're comfortable doing the weird and crazy stuff, but you need to be aware, like if you want to have more jobs or get hired, and I know you have the skill, I'm pretty sure you can draw, you know, like Breath of the Wild, Zelda-like characters who are more commercial and appealing and more nice and charming. If you haven't, I mean, while this is a little bit, sometimes I feel like it's a little bit too personal, and you need to also think like what the audience wants, what the clients wants, what's popular right now, and put a little bit more into that, and you live a little bit in that 90s anime world, which I do myself. I love retro cyber, and I love watching those still. But if you want to be commercially successful and you have the skill, just put out a little bit more of those, even if you do a Super Mario redesign in your style. Yeah. Otherwise, I have nothing else to add. Hopefully, that could help.
Yeah, I mean, I've got sort of a couple things. First thing is that there's no email in the about section.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna be the Emra for today and point out all the emails that are missing. There's no email address in the about section. There is a little bio about yourself. So that's something. And something that stood out to me, and I don't know if this was sort of something that you thought about, Alex, was I think it's their newest piece on their ArtStation is really is super different to the rest of it. The rest of their art, the rest of their portfolio seems very character based, whereas this is like an environment, like they said, it's like a background test.
That looks like something out of a sketchbook, not really refined or thought out, and have problems with focal points, like have 2 black dots here, and I don't know where to look at first. The colors are a little bit unbalanced. Looks like you had some kind of it looks like I want to test out my new custom brushes test. Yeah, pretty right.
But that was sort of the only couple things that I thought about. But yeah, if you've got nothing else to say, I don't think Mateen has had any questions. If they are in chat, they haven't said anything. So if they're not here, I'll send this to them later. They can rewatch it. But,
sweet.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Mateen. And we can move on to our next portfolio. Oh, they just got here. It's okay. You can watch it back when we're done. Do we have like a TLDR? What was the brief summary of what we said about Mateen's portfolio?
Brief summary.
Yeah, like.
Okay. Focus on your local values. Don't like the rendering is a little bit inconsistent. Be a little bit more commercial. I see lots of the moody, gritty, dark type of stuff. Unless just if you want to like enhance your chances of getting hired and learn more stuff, have more variety in there, like redesign Super Mario, whatever, or draw something like Breath of the Wild. And sometimes your style is a little bit stuck in the 90s, which is fine. This is not a critique because I myself like retro cyber, but just put out like, and if you have some bunny mans, just have only one bunny man in your portfolio, if you know what I mean. Or you see those faces, they all look the same. This is the first impression I get, and I feel like you're lazy, but you're not. You can draw lots of stuff. So don't put in the sketches, put them last in your portfolio. And these colored pieces were pretty great. That page was really interesting.
Yeah, you can sort of rewatch this. It'll be on. This will go straight onto YouTube when we're done. So if any of that didn't make much sense, or you want to rewatch it, then by all means go ahead. I encourage you to do so. But anyway, next up will be Raven. So that's under Ravenwood on Discord, or just Raven on their portfolio. If you're here, then say hi. And feel free to ask any questions as we go along. It's going to be really cool to look at your work. I will read out what their looking for. So Raven has said that their portfolio is currently focused on creature design and illustration, which I think speaks for itself. They recently found themselves interested in concept art, and would this portfolio be enough to apply for concept artist jobs, or would you suggest they make a second portfolio that focuses more on that side? But they're open for any and all critique with advice.
Raven is one person, right?
Raven is one person.
All right.
Yeah,
holy crap, this is awesome.
Yeah, they've been in the Discord voice chat a few times, and their work is impressive.
Absolutely. I really love the shapes, the anatomy. That's really skilled stylization here.
Yeah.
Nice poses on the werewolf here. Yeah, man, these shapes, I mean, they're masterful. Look at, I mean, that's some design here. That's some construction there. There's some character in there. Nothing to criticize. I mean, that's a great concept. Really cute. So much attitude. And the motion here, amazing. So yeah, you love animals. And it shows. And you got some drawing skills and design skills.
Yeah. Something I noticed as well was how quick they are. So their second most recent piece on their portfolio, like the big Quetzalcoatlus, the big like dinosaur bird, that was done in like 2 days, just in the voice chat, like super quick. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it shows like there's lots of confidence in the lines. So if I see this, something like that, I would know the artist is fast. Yeah, very much.
I'll put the link in the chat.
Oh my god. Wow. I mean, you mastered, I'd say you mastered the animals. You got it down. You can break down the major forms and you can convey motion. That's great. So, but the question was work as a concept artist, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I think you need to go to the next level just to be sure. So I see lots of creatures, they have horns. Like every second piece is a dragon or some creature that has horns somewhere. I think you have the style, but think a little bit more outside of the box. Maybe ideally would be cool if you could give them some kind of a saddle. So maybe some kind of warrior can ride one of these creatures, or a couple of bags left and right. Design a little bit more, have some props. I think drawing wise, skill wise, you have all the potential to, I mean, I only see characters, but you know, when I see stuff like that, where I see anatomy done so nicely, I'd say just to enhance your chances of finding jobs. It might be that somebody needs a creature designer, but just maybe for a short period of time. They might keep you longer on a certain project if they knew that you can design props or saddles or ornaments, bracelets, maybe make some kind of horse or horse creature in a medieval style with a little bit more design work in there, because it's a little bit too much focused. A little bit. I've just seen everything need horns here. Yes, sure, but horns are cool, but we need some design too. I just want to help you to get more jobs if that's what you want. The skill is there, but yeah, I mean, draw some humans as well. I'm sure you can do it. I wonder if that's some kind of comfort zone you don't want to break out here, but you should. You would have some fun. Yeah. I mean, you can actually. Sorry?
Oh no, I was just gonna say they've got like a couple of cool designs that aren't like sort of dinosaurs or whatever. They've got like the little imp, the little hell imp, and they've got the
there's
the woman in like third row down. I think you looked at
Third
her
row. The
on
woman,
the left.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she looks really cool. Yeah. So more stuff like that would be to see as well.
Yeah. But honestly, when I look at the portfolio, you can just divide it into half, and it would be enough to tell me, to tell you're really great at characters and creatures. And the other half I would replace with props and characters, maybe, or environments, whatever. And this would increase your chances of 50%. I see some props here, which is great. So yeah, something more like that. It's cool. Although I would watch out for repetitive shapes. So if you see a V, then another V, and another V of the almost same size, it looks a little bit repetitive. That's not a good design choice. Same here. Okay, although here it gets smaller, so it gets a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just a little bit a nitpick. But work on your designs on clothing or armors. Yeah, that would improve it. Otherwise, I mean, there's nothing I can add to those fantastic creatures.
We actually have a question from Sergey Budenu. I'm sorry, but they said some studios hire environment concept artists or creature concept artists. Does it mean that portfolios like Raven's still have to have more of a general concept art example? So,
well, here's the thing. If you show me a portfolio of an artist who's as good as Raven, but has some props and characters in there, guess who they would hire more likely?
Yeah.
And if you watch Game of Thrones, you think there are always dragons, but even in Game of Thrones, there are sometimes some kind of saddles they're riding on those dragons, I think. So it's just, it should be there. Definitely helps you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose if you're going for, it kind of depends as well, right? Like if you want to do environmental concept art, then why would you want to do creature concept art on your portfolio? You know? So if a studio is looking for environmental concept artists, they're not really going to be looking at creatures, I would assume. But I hope that answered your question, Sergey. But I did check Raven's about section, and they do have an email. So nice job, Raven. And they also have a brief summary about themselves too. So good job. But yeah, unless we have any other questions, or Alex, if you have any other sort of comments to make.
But yeah, constantly looking for new challenges and opportunities. So I'd say we gave you some ideas, put them in there, and we know you can take up the challenges as well. So yeah. I'd just say go out of your comfort zone a little bit more. You can do it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and if you're ever looking for ideas of things to draw, then we're in the voice chat a lot, and we can give you plenty of ideas.
Yeah.
But thank you very much, Raven, for your submission. And let's move on to our next one.
Jada Belcastro.
Yes, there it is. Yes, Jada Belcastro. So if you're here, Jada, then say hi and feel free to ask any questions as we go along. But Jada said that they are a sort of character concept artist or just general concept artist, which again I think shows a little bit in their portfolio. They're looking for entry-level roles in studios, whether that's an outsourced studio like Mooncolony or a specific game studio. They would like to know what their portfolio strengths and weaknesses are, what to highlight, and what to work on some more.
Okay. One thing that's cool, I see not too much images, I see different kind of images, different kind of colors. I see props, environments, rendering, characters, and different styles. That's interesting. Something I would click on for sure. So nice presentation. Starting with the first one. Okay. Wood. A pumpkin woke up in the field. So I just want, the only thing that throws me off, we have this kind of gnarly. I was like, looking at this, I was thinking about something like that guy who did Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, Tim
Burton. Oh my God, yes. So I thought, okay, there's gonna be some Tim Burton style, and then like, what? I see these anime things, which like even the line work, the style doesn't really fit. So I'm like a little bit, I don't feel like it belongs there. Everything's done nicely, but it kind of doesn't feel right yet. I see all this hatch rendering, hatch marks, all this hatching here, all this intricate detail there. It just doesn't fit style-wise. So that would be a no-no. I'd say either put this guy out or redesign it. Make sure the style is consistent, because that's at least what our directors for. They would just figure this stuff out and help to bring this more together. So I mentioned that. I need to point it out. That would be a no-go. Yeah. Let's move to the next one. But by the way, the designs are cool. I like the exploration and everything here.
Yeah, I really like the.
It really has.
I really like the style as well. The style on the pumpkin guy is.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, lovely shapes.
I feel like I've seen this one before, but I'm not sure where. I don't know whether we looked at it in a critique at some point, or sure.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but I won't forget it so fast. It's a really nice design. The line works and the shape is amazing. Wow, really cool. Could be some kind of a new character on Zelda. Yeah, I like Zelda, I know.
Yeah.
But so here for I think the coloring is a little bit blurry. So looking at this, I know rendering wise, it's not quite there, but for concept art, it's good enough, I think. No critique here. That's some great concept. Love it, and the poses. Really cool. Also like the graphic design presentation that you have. You have a sense for graphic design that shows this shown in your characters, like where you want to put big shapes next to small shapes and have a certain balance here. You manipulate a certain rhythm. So I know you have some design skills immediately. This here kind of feels like pretty weak when I like comparing to the first two ones. The ground is taking so much attention, like that fire effect. I know, is it an illustration or character design? If that would be a character design, I would tone it down. But yeah, okay. Oh, that's interesting. So the development process is cool. On this one, I would, just say maybe work a little bit more. I think in general, you have nice shapes. You're a designer. You know how to manipulate shapes. It would be cool if you could construct a little bit more in space, like put your figures more in 3D. That's more because a couple of things feel still flat, like you just traced over the thumbnail. I personally would make a thumbnail like this and then redrawing it and kind of figuring out the volumes of the anatomy or the folds, maybe already indicate more where the light comes from, and then go for a clean line work or just render it. But this looks like you just took a thumbnail and blew it up and traced it. I think so. If that was the case, so maybe spend more time on that if you want. You know, the final result is what matters. There needs to be a nice presentation. Put some time into it, because if you've been developing a character for a couple of days, so give it your best shot on the post one.
With that one quickly, what are your thoughts on the image that has all the sort of variations on it?
The previous one?
Yeah, this
or
one.
The
yeah,
next? This one?
Yeah. What are your thoughts about having like the 3 kind of reference images and that top right? You know, it has the woman posing, the person in like the leather jacket, and then all of the knickknacks and everything.
I don't mind it personally, but it's also like it's not, it doesn't take up too much space. And I mean, if that would be the only sheet, then I'd say put them out, because if that's your final result which you decided on, they are in the way. I want to take a full look at this character, but you did that in 2 later images, so that's fine. I mean, it's really important as a concept artist. You need to know how to work with references. Actually, looking at these stuff, I'm pretty sure you use some, but then seeing you use some for real, just it's fine. It's to me, it's professional.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, these are great. I really like the style.
Yeah. I'd love to have seen more. Yeah, I was just going to say I'd love to have seen more. You know, I think it's a shame there's only 2 sheets.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, different shapes, different colors. The colors are in harmony, like this, like the main values. Everything fits together. Really nice. Oh, and some rendering here. Okay. Yeah, I think the darks on the gray pants, like the shadow, could be a little bit darker. But it's just minor nitpicking. There's a concept. Wonder why the flower grows out of the helmet. So will we figure it out? Yes, we will. We have a back view. Okay, that's the thing. Cool. Yeah, so if you would play this character from a top-down view or whatever, it would be at least recognizable. That's some cool idea. I'm not reading the description, but oh yeah, I love the exploration. Hey, that's professional stuff. That's pretty cool. I think if there's an indie game or whatever that wants to explore concept, or maybe even some pixel games, because your characters, you might see them from farther away. Yeah, they should hire you. Man, even props, like that's all you need. The graphic design is there, color values are there, shapes are there. I think the rest, I'd say work on your construction, maybe a little bit the rendering, and the rest comes with experience. Really cool stuff. Isometric views. Okay, cool. So you did this with Blender, I assume. Cool.
Yeah, Blender.
Yeah, Blender. There we go.
Yeah. Real nice design.
Love the isometric view. So we see you put some love into it. I see some kind of teddy bear. So I see if somebody has been thinking about what they've been doing, and you have been thinking. So that's a radio. Like you see yourself already living in that world. So there's lots of epiphany in there. Yeah, I'm feeling it. Really cool. Nice. Great shapes. Only thing I can just say is just the consistency in style varies a little bit. I think you could work on that. Just really make sure if you have some gnarly, gritty outlines that all the characters have this outlines, and even the trees ideally. Of course, you can set up the rules, but be a little bit more aware of that.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, you're a great designer. Really nice, cool
One
shapes.
thing I'll say about this set of images, and I think it's been pointed out to a few people before, is that the thumbnail on your portfolio like homepage is actually the last image that you're showing in that in this like gallery, if you know what I mean. So you're being lured in with like the nice picture of like the waterfall, but then the first image that you're seeing when you click on the set is loads of trees and plants.
Oh yeah, the waterfall. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh right, yeah, absolutely. Where's the waterfall? Oh, in the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that's been
Good point.
That's been pointed out on a few portfolios in previous sessions that we've got. It's something small, but it's enough to kind of be a bit confusing when you click on it and you're greeted with something totally different.
One thing here, why does the waterfall get wider in the end and smaller and goes down? It looks like the water is traveling up a hill. You know,
Oh yeah.
just minor nitpick. It's kind of confusing, but maybe there are some certain gravity rules in the world. But watch out, I'm really picky when I see logic issues like that. Because I think one thing is like your skill, like how good or how fast, what the quality you can deliver in your drawing, but the other one is like, you know, logical thinking. This doesn't require any drawing skills, but just tells me before you submit anything, you just slow down and think about what you've been doing, making sure is everything correct, does everything make sense, and then post it online or send it over wherever it needs to be. But that's pretty important. So yeah, I would change that. Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, and this.
Here's again. Yeah. Oh, what do you want to say, Jaden?
Oh, I was going to say, so that this last one looks like it's sort of a collection of the ones we've already seen.
Right here again, it's like you have the outlines here at the last one with a little bit of painted grass. Then you have no outlines, and then you have outlines with painting. It's a mix. This is like how you set it up, okay? But if this is like is this your final style? So do you want to make it all presented, all rendered like that? I think it's the weakest right now. You can work on your rendering a little bit more, or on your brush work. I think if you would do this with the outlines in more of some kind of a comic style, or that kind of style, or this style right here, it would have more of an impact and unify the whole project a little bit more, because this feels like style-wise out of place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Did I say I like Breath of the Wild? So yeah, I like the Ghibli movies and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. One thing, look, he has cute eyes in the thumbnails. They catch my attention. Now when I look at these guy, he has those small irises, and in anime, like somebody is holding like
a flashlight or something.
Flashlight shining in through his eyes, which looks kind of weird. Also, somebody, when I used to do that, somebody told me, is that a villain? Because sometimes the villain have like those psycho eyes where you see like where they're in attack mode and or not, any, like I wouldn't do that if that's a hero character or a nice character, because that doesn't look pretty trustworthy.
Yeah.
Thumbnails are pretty cool. Yeah. Maybe if you design a main character, like really figure out what his focal point is, because when I look at it, the shape, I mean, that's a nice composition, but where's the focal point? Is it that green one? Is it this glowing lamp, or the fruits hanging down on his chest is nothing, and the eyes are a little bit evil. So maybe he could have a necklace, or you can play with colors a little bit more, have a little bit more intensity on his braids here in the back. Like
Yeah,
there needs to be something where I need to look at first. So yeah, play with that more. But hey, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should get a job and get a little bit more experience, and you become. I mean, you are a pretty good concept artist already. I can't wait to see more. Just see how you develop.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
No email address though. Come on.
Ah, that's bad. So all the talent doesn't help you anymore.
Yeah, put an email address on there. You have got a nice summary though. So good job.
Holy carp! This is so cool.
Whoa, the king is interesting. Is he sat on his tail like a throne?
Yeah, that looks like it. That's pretty cool. I mean, you have to come up with that. That's creative. Yeah. And look at the shapes. They're also different from each other. You like world building. You can world build, and wow, so sweet. Never seen a design like that. It's creative, and I love the pose here. That's not easy to do. Awesome. Only thing, I think it's some older work. Is it? Yeah, I think it's a little bit too much shiny stuff going on. I'd rather would have kept it a little bit more simple, like the first piece in your portfolio. But I'd love to see also more of these, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or male, female, I don't know. Jada, is that not quite a common name here in Germany? So, but yeah, love to see more of that. Cool.
No, nice job.
Yeah. How much time do we have left? Are we a little bit?
We've got about 10 minutes ish. We started a little bit late, but we've got about 10 minutes ish. So
all
we've
right,
got
so
two more to do, I think.
Okay. So we have Jack Morrison.
Jack Morrison next.
Hi, Jack.
Yeah. So that's Jack the Undying in Discord. So Jack was saying that they're aiming for sort of any placement in the industry, possibly mobile games, because they've applied for. I'll say they've applied for a lot of roles and they've had no responses. So any kind of general advice for that,
okay,
be great. Yes, I remember I've seen that.
I think you should do more of these in a small scale and finish them, like either concentrate on rendering or your brushes. These look unfinished and I wouldn't want to see the studies. I think as good as your studies can get is like how far you can push your characters, and these studies even tell me you can push it much more. So right, I mean, cool to see. This one here is not surprising. I don't know if this has been made by you or if you just copied the screenshot from the movie, which I haven't seen. I know the Cat in Boots, or how it's called, Puss in Boots, right? So yeah, so that leaves me questioning here. So I'm just ignoring it, although it looks awesome. Yeah, and this one right here, I mean, commission for a client who wanted an in-page. I mean, you don't have to write it down. Like he wanted an in-page. I'm sorry for the character. Like the text is dragging him out of the picture. All this text is telling him, "Come on, get out of here," and he's still trying to protect somebody. What I mean by that is just show the character only. This kind of looks like you did a screenshot on your phone and posted it in your portfolio. So yeah, I would show it fully. Okay, that's cool. So you definitely, I mean, you should work on your rendering. I really like the construction and everything, but the colors are all too saturated throughout, and the edges aren't clean enough. So if you want to avoid rendering, then go for line work and anime cell shaded style. So I see this box right here, this treasure box, which is done in 3D. It's super exciting. I see the whole process. It's interesting. And when I see these things, I guess it's it's a 2D side-scrolling game. That's why it's so flat. Okay. I think I'd say just keep on going, practice on your rendering, do a little bit more Super Mario, draw Super Mario, study different styles. Show some characters and like humanoid characters, heroes, archetypes. Show and okay, let me just sum it up. So something like the first 3 is fine. This guy right here is kind of melted with the background. The values don't pop. This illustration, also the values don't pop. They're too close to each other. I only see dark and light. I don't see enough in the middle. This just tells me that you're not quite there yet, but you're studying. And yeah, use of overlays, but
I know I know that we gave an art critique on this piece.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I can't remember who did it. It might have been. It could have been Leone, but I know that we definitely gave Jack an art critique on this. So
okay,
whether he implemented any of the changes and hasn't updated on his portfolio or hasn't implemented any of the changes, I'm not sure.
That's a good question. Yeah.
But yeah, maybe.
But Alexander is great. You should listen to him for sure. Yeah.
It could have been
Leone.
think it was Leone, but it could be anyone really.
Yeah, see tangent here, or this line here continues with this one right here, which kind of makes it less exciting than this tangent right here. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'd say work on the basics and create more stuff. Is it good or not? Just get it out there, and we can have another review anytime. And but yeah, there's potential. I'd say just keep going. Do you have the email in there?
I do
Yes.
have an email in
Good.
there. Yeah.
Sweet. Shall we jump to the next one, since we don't have too much time, right?
Yeah, let's hop over to the next one, which is Natalia Sklenkarova's. So that's Miss Witchcraft in the Discord. They said they are a recent graduate from game theory. Their goal was is to create dynamic character illustrations for games or books. They've recently been trying to improve their fundamentals and more complex perspective-based pieces. They're looking for feedback and critique with advice on making their artwork more dynamic. So, if you're here, Natalia, then feel free to say hi and ask any questions, but go ahead.
Okay, I've heard the dynamic lots of times, but when I look at the portfolio, I see pinups, which are not dynamic, or character standing, or I mean, okay, it's a little bit dynamic if somebody is doing a certain pose. I think multiple characters. I also only see one character everywhere.
I don't think they mentioned multiple
characters. Do I miss
character.
something?
Yeah.
No? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
But if you want to be an illustrator, just set the bar higher and put up a couple of more characters into an image, tell a story which is more than a pinup. So what can I say? So from the thumbnails, I think these props here, they look awesome. They have some kind of nice cartoony, confident style, Sailor Moon theme or whatever. You nailed it. That looks professional. I really love the rendering on that ghost story and the graphic design here. Really cool. I mean, this edge could be a little bit cleaner, but nitpicking is my job. I always try to find some kind of a needle in the haystack. Yeah, this is good in professional stuff. I would keep it there. I would actually put these ones at the bottom a little bit up higher. I'm really personally not a fan. Like, I mean, if there's somebody who wants pinup arts, and there's so many pinup artists out there, yeah, okay, go for it. But maybe it's just pasting. Then city hero. Okay. I think this looks like a work in progress. If this is, I mean, if this concept art for a game, like his eyes have the same color as his skin, even for anime, I wouldn't do that. That axe could be more of a patch instead of just some brushworks. Yeah, I know. If this is a hero, his body language and pose tells me he's not, I mean, like, he's leaning a little bit backwards, like he's shying away from confrontation or something. I mean, something like that. And the fingers here look like there's a sixth one right there, if you see it. And here it's not really clean. I would, cut this line. Design-wise, there could be a little bit more of improvement. But yeah, I don't know what kind of style you're aiming for. But if I would see that, I could point out a couple more things. Because if you take this character and make a sprite game out of it, then it might work. Nobody gives a damn about how many fingers you have. What's important is, like, can we see it? Does it read from farther away? But yeah. Okay, going back. Any more critique? I mean, what can I say? I personally like the line work style. I mean, I love the props. I'd like to see, like, if you would have put the same love you put in the props into the characters, which I'm sure you can, they would stand out more. I mean, this guy right here, but I haven't reviewed everything, so let's give this lady a chance. All right. Yeah, I like the shapes. The rendering, the edges are soft everywhere, and that makes the image blurry, unfortunately. So right now, unless you haven't pushed your rendering skills, I would stick to the anime style and focus more on lines and shapes. Yeah. And always make sure you present your work clean. So here's something dirty in there, if that's your final image. Oh, yeah, I mean, this face has so much attitude, kind of got lost in the rendering stage with the blurriness. Okay.
It seems to be that the line art tends to be pretty solid, but then it's the render that pulls it back a little bit.
Yeah, here, kind of similar. This design is more interesting. I mean, at least the colors has some nice variations. Okay. Right. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I think actually, if you want to do characters like that, study brushwork a little bit more, like when to put in a soft edge and a hard edge. Right now, everything's a little bit too fuzzy. I feel like if you have the lines down, I would do a sketch, then do some clean lines, then do some flat colors, and then put a layer on multiply with only one main light source and really figure it out. And then you have some kind of basic solid foundation, then start rendering. Maybe that might help. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, from the design it looks a little bit generic. I'd like to see a little bit more, I don't know, maybe a jewel here and there. Like his face looks like he could be my neighbor. Like what I mean by that, it's not that interesting, it's not a Hollywood actor that you would cast for a movie. So I'd like to see some kind of Anthony Hopkins character if you want to go for a more realistic approach. But if you want to do character designs for movie and realistic approach, actually you can put an Anthony Hopkins face in there. That's what people do by photo bashing, right? So I'm not really sure where this style is going, because I think that the foundations are not quite there yet, where you can manipulate me and show me where you want to go, or what you want to tell here. Also, like the cloak is kind of hovering, floating around his shoulder. It's not quite wrapping around it. I think some more observation studies would help. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. No, but the web page is great, and yeah, the props are strong, and I love this. Like, is that your style that you drew that? I mean, that's pretty cool.
That is pretty
cool. Did we miss it? Was it a portfolio piece? Seems no.
Doesn't look like it. Why? Why?
I mean, that looks like some kind of Disney style. However you did that, I'd love to see more of that. I mean, characters, full body characters in that style would be amazing.
Yeah.
Really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it almost gives what's the Riot Games first person shooter, Valorant.
Valorant?
Yeah, it kind of gives me Valorant vibes a little bit.
Yeah. Or every good Disney character designer posting on Instagram also has. I mean, this has attitude, nice shapes.
Yeah.
Please, more of that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think that's probably about all the time we have for today. But we have one question that I would actually like to ask you, if we can quickly go through that. Orc asked, so this is Mateen, asked, do you have any names for any for any good character concept artists or good character design portfolios? So can you think of any artists off the top of your head?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I grew up with like Wesley Bird, Callum Alexander Watts. He did some great stuff. It really depends. Do you want to go for movie or stylized stuff? I mean, then there's Hichabi. I don't know his name, but he worked for what is it? Riot. Joe Madureira. It's a great artist. Character designers. There are many greats out there. Really hard to tell. Maybe I can come up with a few and drop a few in the chat later somewhere on Discord.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. So keep an eye on the Discord, and we'll put some in there.
Yeah, but in the end, it's one question. But what I would like to see is like your foundation, your training, and your taste. So if you like heavy metal and you like this certain kind of music, and you put a little bit of yourself into the characters and create a world that reflects also a little bit of your taste as well, if possible, that's pretty cool. Setting some new trends, that doesn't make stuff almost so generic, but it's also good if you can draw generic stuff or styles that are popular right now. Like say Valorant or Riot Games or World of Warcraft, or Diablo right now is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, talking about Diablo, like Igor Sid, he goes by on ArtStation. He pretty much established the feel of the game. That's pretty cool. He's great.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's so many styles out there, and I mean, even here at Mooncolony, we touch on so many different ones. It's hard to pick just like a handful of names out of a hat. So
yeah,
I appreciate you trying. But yeah, I think that's all the time we have for today. So thank you, Alex, for taking time out of your day. I know you're a busy man, so
sure thing. Happy to be here.
Yeah. And thank you to Giada, Mateen, Raven, Natalia, and Jack for sending us your portfolios. It was really great to look at. We had some awesome submissions. If we didn't look at yours this week, then I'm sorry, but you can always submit them again next time, and we'll try and get through to them. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to talk about all of them, so we really appreciate it, guys. But if you stick around, we're gonna raid. We're gonna raid somebody else after this, so stick around for that. It'll be a good time. So until then, I will see you tomorrow, where we'll have Leonie coming in for a material study. We'll be looking at doing sort of mossy rocks. So the first half of the stream will be talking about making the material and that sort of thing, and the second half be applying it to a character of some kind. So
nice. I want to join that.
Yeah, it'll be good fun. But
all the best of luck to everybody, and see you around. Ganbatte.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
All right, bye.